What are the top mysteries of the 40k universe? There's a lot.
Yeah, like where is Jagatai Khan? What happened to Dorne? Like why are the Tyranids here?
The King in Yellow?
I think that's probably one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, that's a pretty important one because I feel like that could change the future of 40k depending on how they do it. So rumor has it that the King in Yellow is in a pocket dimension creating his own army of winged space marines. What is going on here? Will he be the one to kill the Emperor?
And some mysteries are funny because they don't really go anywhere. They're just like fluff.
I feel like that has to be the case for some things in 40k. Keep certain mysteries unknown. What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gershwan.
and today we're back at it, answering more questions from you guys in another episode of For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get to those questions first. And this question comes from
Ben903. What are the top mysteries of the 40k universe?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I was gonna say there's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, where do we even start?
The one that I think, whenever I think of mystery, is like the whole, what is it? The dude in gold or red or
The
something?
King in Yellow?
There you go. I think that's probably one of the biggest ones.
That's a pretty important one because I feel like that could change not the history, but the future of 40k depending on how they do it. So rumor has it that the King in Yellow is in a pocket dimension creating his own army of winged space marines. And rumor has it that it may be none other than Constantine Valdor, the right-hand custodian of the Emperor of Mankind. And it's interesting because he has the Emperor's spear, I believe, and this spear imbues him with the true name of a being, which gives him his, the memories, and it can also give him a means to kill that person indefinitely. So what is going on here? Will he be invading Terra? Is he going to be used as a special fighting force against Chaos? Is he on the side of the Imperium? Is he not? Will he be the one to kill the Emperor and maybe make the Emperor come back since he is a perpetual? Or will he kill the Emperor and the Emperor stays dead? Like, there is 2 novels leading up to what the third one will be, and it's interesting to see what exactly will happen with the King in Yellow in the future.
Yeah, I think that's the most solid, like there's Black Library books on it kind of thing. Because you also have like the mysteries that are very standard for the Primarchs, for example, like where is Jagatai Khan? What happened to Dorne? Those kinds of mysteries. But yeah, the King in Yellow, I think, is the biggest one.
Yeah. It's kind of keeping it in line with the Primarchs. Another big mystery is what and who are the 2nd and the 11th Primarchs.
Yeah, that's a mystery that I hope never gets answered. Because another thing that I was thinking about is that you have these mysteries that are kind of getting answered through the like the progression of the story. So, for example, with the Lion coming back and the Fallen, you get an answer to kind of like, well, what's happening with the Fallen and stuff. But with the Lost Primarchs, I just hope that always stays as the ability for a player to create his own Primarch.
Yeah, it's always been kind of like create your own, put your own motifs, build, convert, make your own Space Marine army. This is how you can do it. But I feel like we've been slowly getting more and more information on what happened to them. Yeah. Were they completely eradicated? Was it the Rangdang genocides? Are they all pretty much forced into the Ultramarine ranks? And it's like slowly and slowly we're getting more and more info. And every time we get info, I'm excited. But at the same time, I'm also like, oh, that's too much. That's too much. Stop.
Yeah, especially because if you took your time to create your own homebrew and then all of a sudden you do get an answer to what the Lost Primarchs are, it's kind of like, oh, man, like you really shitted on my story.
It invalidates what you've been doing for years.
Yeah, and then some of the lore that has been created where it used to be a mystery kind of ruins it. So, for example, what are they called?
The Exorcists?
Yeah, the Exorcists, yeah. That they were maybe successors. The mystery was that they were successors of the Grey Knights. But now, for sure, they're like, no, they're the Imperial Fists, right? I think that's stupid. That's like a mystery that's answered that you don't want.
Right. And I feel like that has to be the case for some things in 40K. Keep certain mysteries unknown.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the imaginations of you, the player, the reader, is going to be more better than what the actual answers were. Like, for example, with The Exorcist. So I think that is something that we have to kind of play like around the bush. Give us enough to get our curiosities going, but don't give us enough where we're like, oh, well, that sucks.
Yeah. And some mysteries are funny because they don't really go anywhere. They're just like fluff, kind of like what you were just saying. Because right now I did the lore of a Space Marine chapter who gets visited by like a mysterious, I think they call it like like a watcher, who basically converts the chapter into becoming more like worshippers of the Emperor and not just seeing him as a good warrior. So that kind of mystery of like, who was this guy? Was he a chaos guy who's trying to like get the chapter to get corrupted? That kind of stuff. It doesn't really like. It's a mystery, but it's just very. It doesn't add to the storyline or the progression of the lore. It just adds to the what's it called? World building of the lore.
Yeah, same thing with the Legion of the Damned, because there's a lot of like, who are they? Why are they here? Like, they're basically just ghost space marines. How do they interact with the physical material realm? I don't know. It's like, rumor has it that it's like the Firehawks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, well, if you give me their backstory, that kind of solidifies that, like, well, why aren't all the other chapters that are dying being brought back by the Emperor's might, his will, his psychic power? Like, what makes them special? Yeah. Same thing with, like, the Sisters of Battle. Are they actually getting miracles from the Emperor, or is it just Rosarius?
Well, I think the mystery of the Emperor, like, okay, so the Emperor for sure influences humanity and can bestow, like, what's it called? Miracles.
Right. I mean, he creates saints.
Saint Celestine coming back is a pretty big thing. But yeah, that mystery of what is the Emperor doing and how is it actually working within the grand scheme of things is kind of cool.
Yeah, there's a lot we can get into, but let us know, what are your top 10 mysteries that you want answered, and also what are your top 10 mysteries that you hope GW doesn't touch.
And we also talked a lot about humanity. I'm pretty sure there's mysteries for Xeno races too.
The Tyranids?
Yeah. Well, yeah, like, why are the Tyranids here? Are they? We created a video not too long ago answering the question of like what we would like to see, what the Tyranids are running away from, but we don't really know. Also, like, why do the Tyranids have warp, the shadow of the warp? If they're from a different galaxy and we know that the warp only exists in the Milky Way galaxy, why do they have the shadow of the warp? But yeah, those kinds of mysteries for Xenos is fun. I'm trying to think, do orcs have it? I think the mystery of the orcs is something.
Yeah, they're these super powerful, super smart orcs, and they just went away, de-evolved into the orcs. Like,
yeah,
how? Why?
Even though I think in the book, spoiler alert, it's revealed that the Krork are somehow connected to chaos. But I don't know. I haven't read the Beast.
But even then, like, I feel like whenever we get answers in 40K, it's always like, take these with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Because they might change the lore. They might say, well, yeah, this is how it was written in the history books, but this is how it actually is.
Yeah.
So this whole third person, first person accounts, you never know.
True. Next question comes from the big one. Is a lasgun more or less powerful than a regular rifle carried by a soldier in our time? I kind of feel like it's more powerful, but the enemies in 40K are so tough it makes no difference.
Yeah, definitely. Lasguns, they're basically like laser weapons, but the enemies in 40K are like, they got better technology, better armor, more resilient. They're empowered by chaos. They got warp abilities. So that'd be like saying, well, yeah, I have like an M16 rifle, but I'm fighting against tanks.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like how it feels like when you're a guardsman with a quote-unquote flashlight against Chaos Space Marines. Like, the damage you're going to do is very minimal.
Yeah, and then I guess the question is, so like, if I had a gun from today's time and I shot a Space Marine, what would it do? The point of power armor is to deflect that. So, yeah, the lasgun might be not as effective, but still the power armor and just like the chaos boons make most weapons in 40K kind of like not as strong.
Yeah.
Also, the reason that the Imperium or the Imperial Guard uses lasguns instead of regular guns is because it's cheaper to make.
Yeah, cheaper to make, easy to ship out, easy to use. They do have like a power core to them, which is, I guess, easier than making bullets
Yep.
for the trillions of guardsmen out there. And like at the same time, if you were to fire a lasgun at another unarmored human, like that's gonna do some damage.
Yeah, you're still gonna kill them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good question. Next one.
This one is by Derry Dragon. If Necron death marks are able to teleport anywhere, why don't they just teleport into Terra and kill the Emperor? Or teleport into the Hive Queen and kill her? Or teleport into the Warp and kill the Chaos Gods?
Plot armor, duh. No, but so the Necrons, it's rumored that the Necrons teleported onto Terra without the Adeptus Custodes even knowing. And they stole something, right?
Yeah.
Something that had to do with the Void Dragon, I want to say.
Maybe. Like, we don't know exactly what they stole, but, they're able to go in and out, which also leads to the question, why aren't the Necrons more of a threat?
Yeah, and I think the reason is so there's no desire to kill off humanity in that way. I think Terra itself is not a Necron world. I think that it was controlled by the old ones back in the day, and that's what the Golden Throne is.
Golden Throne, yep.
It's old one technology. So the Necrons not being able to phase into the inner palace is probably a result of old one technology that the Emperor has manipulated to kind of protect himself and protect everybody on Terra. So that if they do teleport, they can't just teleport to the throne room and bam. Right? Because...
And not just that, but like they're going to have fail-safes. They have probably anti-teleportation technology in there. But even then, you got to remember, these are ancient, super technologically advanced Necrons. Like, their technology is far superior to the Imperium.
Yeah.
So it's like they probably could go and destroy all of Terra. They have weapons that literally are star killers. Like, they can take out stars, they can take out planets. But that's just too OP, and that doesn't really make good storytelling.
Yeah.
You gotta have your good guys. You gotta have the drama, the will he, won't he, in order to sell novels and stuff like that. Because if you just have like Trazian, boom brush Terra and just destroy it like that, like that's not. It's crazy. It's like, oh crap, what's going on? But at the same time, it's not good storytelling.
And here we are trying to find like an excuse as to why it's not happening, when in reality, at the end of the day, they're just stories. And Games Workshop doesn't want to kill the Emperor off like that. Yeah, because you could come up with pretty much anything, right? Like maybe the Necrons even know that if the Emperor dies, then the warp portal that is on Terra will open up and it will basically consume the entire soul system. And they don't want that because they want no chaos. So maybe... in their mind, they're like, well, the Pariah Nexus is working. We can just do a Pariah Nexus style thing on Terra when the time comes.
Right.
But again, those are just us kind of, I guess, coming up with excuses. But at the end of the day, it's like, well, because it's the Imperium, and the Imperium's OP.
Yeah, and you say that for anything. Like, people always say, well, Superman, he can just kill everybody. Why doesn't he just kill all the bad guys? And then, like... Because he's not gonna. Like, that's not how you make things tense, electrifying, good storytelling.
True, yeah.
That's how you get the, was it the Justice Society? Where they become, like, dictators or something like that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's, like, evil Batman, evil Superman, and they killed off all the villains, and they're, like, in control of everything.
Next question comes from The Big One. Oh, this is another one from The Big One. I have a ton of DVDs that fell off. Oh, no, we answered that before. DVDs are worthless.
Yeah.
The only thing to invest in right now is more Warhammer 40K products because those numbers keep going up. Recently, I watched there's a channel called Squidmar Gaming or something like that. And he was like calculating the cost of a kit. It's expensive to build 40K stuff. Still doesn't justify the fact that it's so expensive, but still,
Yeah.
stomach is growling.
Yeah, I heard that. I thought I didn't know what that was for a second.
I'm hungry. Those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we'll talk tomorrow.
That's right. Keep those questions coming, guys. And again, thank you for liking, commenting, sharing, and we'll see you in the next one. This has been The Sound Alchemist.
Gershwin.
And we are out.